All right, let's jump right into the Big Lots situation. The discount retailer. A lot has been happening since their bankruptcy filing.
That was back in September 2024, wasn't it? A pretty significant event.
Exactly. And, that led to a huge number of store closures. Over 400 closed down during 2024. Big impact.
Yeah, a really tough period for them. Then came the acquisition deal in December.
Right. Gordon Brothers retail partners stepped in initially. But then, and this is the part that's really shaping things now, variety wholesalers came into the picture.
Ah, yes, variety wholesalers. They ended up acquiring a substantial chunk, somewhere between 200 and 400 of the actual Big Lots store locations.
And 2 distribution centers as well, which is key for logistics.
Absolutely. And the interesting strategy here is they're keeping the Big Lots name. Variety Wholesalers runs their own discount stores, obviously, but they're keeping these ones branded as Big Lots.
Which suggests they see value in that name recognition, right?
Precisely. They must feel the brand still resonates with shoppers, despite the bankruptcy. They've set a target, I believe.
Yeah, they're aiming to get 219 of these locations back open and operational by midsummer this year. A pretty ambitious timeline.
It is, and it's quite a strategic play. Taking over assets post-bankruptcy, keeping the established brand, it shows confidence.
Okay, before we dig deeper, just a quick reminder.
Okay.
If you find this kind of analysis helpful, please do take a moment to like this and subscribe. It really helps us out.
Definitely. So, getting back to the timeline, the reopening process actually already started.
It did. Back in April, we saw the first wave. It was relatively small. Just over 9 stores reopened.
Spread across a few states.
Yeah, 6 states. Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, North Carolina, Tennessee, and Virginia. Kind of like a soft launch, maybe?
Possibly testing the waters, ironing out any initial kinks. But April was really just the prelude, wasn't it? May is the big month for reopening.
Oh, absolutely. May is huge. We're talking about 132 Big Lot stores scheduled to reopen just this month.
Wow, 132. That's a major ramp up compared to April. Across how many states?
14 states this time, so a much wider geographic spread.
That makes sense. They're clearly accelerating the pace now. Is it happening all at once?
No, they're phasing it within May. The first batch was around 60 stores. Some reports say 55. There's a slight discrepancy. But around that number, they reopened on May 1st.
Okay, so that's already happened.
Right. And then the next big wave is coming up really soon on May 15th. That's when another 73 stores are set to open their doors again.
Got it. So May 1st and May 15th are the key dates for this month's reopenings and the rest.
The plan, as we understand it, is for the remaining stores in that initial 219 target group to reopen gradually through early June. So the process should be largely complete by midsummer, as they aimed for.
That phased approach seems smart. Reopening over 130 stores across 14 states simultaneously would be, well, a logistical nightmare.
Sure. Speaking of the states, want to run through them. The 14 for May.
Yeah, let's list them out.
Okay, it's Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Indiana, Kentucky, Michigan, Mississippi.
North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania. They seem to be getting quite a few, right?
Yeah, exactly. North Carolina, Ohio, and Pennsylvania apparently have the highest number of reopenings slated for May. That's interesting.
It could point to where Variety Wholesalers sees the strongest potential, maybe existing infrastructure, customer loyalty, market conditions, something like that.
Makes sense. Finishing the list. South Carolina, Tennessee, Virginia, and West Virginia. So a big focus on the East and Midwest.
It really covers a significant portion of the original Big Lots footprint.
And the leadership of Variety Wholesalers seems really enthusiastic. Lisa Seges, the president and CEO, has been quite positive in her statements about bringing these stores back.
That leadership buy-in is crucial in a turnaround situation, and it sounds like customers are responding well so far.
Apparently so. The reports suggest a really positive initial customer reaction. People seem happy to have the stores back, especially with fresh inventory and the kind of deals Big Lots is known for.
That early positive feedback is gold. It validates the decision to keep the brand and suggests there's pent-up demand. What about the merchandise itself? Is it just the same old stuff?
It sounds like they're mixing it up a bit. They're bringing back the familiar categories, home decor, health and beauty, seasonal items, but they're also adding a new apparel department.
Oh, apparel. That's a significant addition. That could broaden their appeal, maybe attract slightly different shoppers, or get existing shoppers to buy more per visit.
Yeah, sort of moving towards more of a one-stop discount shop, so refresh.
A necessary refresh, probably. You can't just reopen the doors. You need to signal that things are, well, new and improved.
And they're being realistic about it, too. Seges mentioned the stores won't be, perfect right off the bat.
Setting expectations. Smart.
Right. She said customers should expect to see more new products hitting the shelves every week. It's a gradual buildup.
Which makes sense operationally, too. Easier to manage inventory flow and get staff up to speed.
And this is all leading towards something bigger later in the year.
Yeah, they're planning a big grand opening celebration for all the reopened stores sometime in the fall.
Okay, so a coordinated event once everything is more settled. That could generate some good buzz.
Definitely a key marketing beat for them later this year, solidify the relaunch.
Now, let's pivot a bit to the financial side. The stock, obviously the bankruptcy had consequences there.
Big consequences. Big Lots stock was delisted from the New York Stock Exchange last year. That's standard procedure in these situations.
So for anyone trying to follow it, where does it trade now?
It's now on the OTC markets. That's the over-the-counter market. The ticker symbol is BIGQ.
OTC markets.
Yeah.
That comes with different risks, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Trading on the OTC market is generally considered much riskier than trading on major exchanges like the NYSE. You often see lower liquidity, less available information, and potentially much higher volatility. Prices can swing wildly.
And that volatility seems to be playing out. We've seen the prices extremely low, around 2 cents a share currently.
Yeah, and that follows a massive drop even before the delisting. A stock price near zero like that is, frankly, quite typical for a company emerging from bankruptcy. The equity value often gets wiped out or severely diluted.
So investors need to be extremely cautious there.
Extremely. It's a very speculative play at this point. Another factor is the lack of analyst coverage.
Right. Major investment banks tend not to follow stocks on the OTC markets as closely, or at all sometimes.
Exactly. So it's harder for investors to find reliable, in-depth research and analysis compared to NYSE-listed companies. You're kind of operating with less information.
Although we did see one rating, TipRank's AI stock analysis gave it an underperform rating.
Right. And that's likely based heavily on the recent very poor financial performance leading up to and through the bankruptcy. AI analysis is backward-looking in that sense.
It reflects the past troubles, understandable given the bankruptcy.
Precisely. It's an algorithm looking at the data, which obviously hasn't been good. Whether that reflects the future potential under Variety Wholesalers management, well, that's the big question mark the AI can't really answer yet. The fundamentals are changing.
Good point. So just to quickly recap the whole situation for everyone listening. Big Lots filed for bankruptcy September 2024, closed hundreds of stores. Gordon Brothers acquired them, then Variety Wholesalers acquired a large number of the stores and 2 distribution centers.
And Variety Wholesalers is reopening them as Big Lots stores. About 10 reopened in April, 132 more are reopening now in May across 14 states, with the rest following by early June.
They're refreshing the merchandise, adding apparel, and planning a grand opening event for the fall.
Meanwhile, the stock, BIGQ, is trading on the risky OTC markets at very low levels, with limited analyst coverage and an AI rating reflecting past poor performance.
It's definitely a turnaround story in progress. It'll be fascinating to watch how Variety Wholesalers manages this and if they can successfully revitalize the Big Lots brand.
Absolutely. Success hinges on execution, managing those reopened stores effectively, winning back customer trust, and competing in that tough discount retail space. The fall grand opening will be a key moment to watch.
Well, that covers the latest on the Big Lots restructuring and reopening. Quite a journey for the brand.
Indeed. Lots of moving parts, and definitely one to keep an eye on.
Thanks again for tuning in. We hope you found this breakdown useful. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already.
We'll catch you on the next one.